You're listening to Pondering Pennies with Dempsy and Rae.
All right, Ray, you want to enlighten us on why it took us 30 minutes to get started here because you're a technology wizard?
Listen. I don't want to hear it. I've been waiting on you, but somebody's headphones were dead, so that makes you the technology wizard.
No,
But
I
I had the button
was
on the mic.
technologically inclined enough to know that my headset was dead. And to fix the problem, I had to charge them so we could record this episode. You, on the other hand, seemed a little lost in the sauce there about why your audio wasn't working.
Listen, I clicked I don't remember clicking the button on the front to put it to red rather than green. I'm sorry.
So was the mic even unplugged to begin with, or were you just...
Yes. I put the mic down and it unplugged. And I must have pressed the button when I plugged it back in. I don't know.
So your whole world was just crumbling beneath your feet. You had no idea what was going on.
Oh, for sure.
Panicking.
For sure.
It was like the tax situation earlier this week when you called me and I proceeded to, amputate my own finger while on the phone with you.
Yeah. What happened to your finger? Is it okay? Did you go get stitches?
So when I was talking to you and we were talking about your tax return stuff, I don't remember what I was doing with this knife, but I got done using it and I had cleaned it. And, I took a paper towel and I was wiping the blade to, dry it off. And as I was wiping it, I thought I had the blade facing my palm and then, the spine of the knife facing my fingertips, but it was the other way around. And I had the blade facing my fingertips. So when I swiped it through the paper towel, I kind of swiped and pushed forward and I just jabbed a good inch and a half just right through the center of my middle finger. It just started bleeding everywhere.
That sounds horrible.
And it was one of those cuts too, where it was just bleeding so much, I couldn't see the cut and really tell how bad it was or anything. And all my medical supplies and stuff, because I got quite a bit of that stockpiled up, is in my office where I'm recording right now. And most of the house is that tile
carpet,
you want to call it, but everywhere else is carpet, right? And I didn't want to walk over the carpet with my bleeding hand to go get anything. So I was just well, Sam will be home soon, probably. I'll just stand here over the sink and bleed into the sink. And then you saw the one picture and ended up being quite a bit of blood.
I looked at that picture.
To get home.
I looked at that picture. I was like, holy fuck, this dude's going to bleed out.
Yeah, I was probably
so deep.
6 to 8 ounces of blood. But then, so I decided not to go get any stitches or anything. I just, waited for the blood to subside and bandaged it up and everything. But this morning, I was working on the ice maker for my fridge because the little ice tray that fills up with water and then dumps the ice out cracked. So, I was super gluing it and shit because it would dump water in there and then the water would leak through and it kept freezing up the whole mechanism and fucking up my ice maker. So while I was doing that, I was kind of pulling on the plastic and stuff to fit everything back in place. And I wasn't paying attention. And I kept using my middle finger and I had the bandage and everything off since I slept with it on overnight to let it breathe. And I wasn't paying attention till the end because I kept using my middle finger. I was like, oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts. But, I got done and I was looking at it and I was testing it and I realized I was just bleeding all over. I was like, oh no, my ice. I got bloody ice. I got to wipe it all down.
Oh my God. Dude, your ice maker's been broken for ages now.
No, that fridge is brand new too. We called Samsung and we're like, yo, the ice tray cracked and water's leaking out and it's freezing in all parts of the ice maker. Can you send us a replacement part? Because it's not even the ice holder, the ice tray is just fitted in there with pressure. You could just take it out. And if you had a replacement, pop the replacement in. And they're like, oh no, we're gonna have to send out a Samsung tech and he's gonna, hourly rate to replace all this and blah blah blah. And I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, okay, I'll just, fix it myself. And you have the intention of fixing things, but it never quite works out that way. Next thing you know, you're just kind of making ice the old fashioned ice trays in the freezer for like 8 months. But then Sam finally got, annoyed enough to make me fix it finally. Yeah, and now I guess there's like a class action lawsuit against Samsung. They got faulty ice trays. The world knows about their deepest, darkest secret, and they're coming for them in court.
Really? Because when I got this house, we bought a new fridge too, and mine works great. So you should be jealous. Yep.
And COVID. Bought this house brand new, 2020, moved in, didn't have a fridge. Same day I bought that 10-foot fucking TV in my living room. I had to buy a fridge, and like all the fridges I want, they're like, oh yeah, that'll come in like 4 months. We can order it for you now. I'm like, buddy, I need a fridge now, not 4 months from now.
Right.
We don't live in New York anymore. We're pretty far south now. So it's like, I can't just put this shit outside. It was wintertime and it's going to stay cold. Like, I need something for my fucking food here. They're like, oh, the only model we got this Samsung. And I'm like, oh, it's a nice fridge. It's, stainless steel, resistive. It's got the French doors. It's a nice fridge. A fucking bum ass ice maker holding me back, though. Pretty weird.
It's always the little things. Always the little things.
Could be worse. I could be getting back $15 on my tax return.
Whoa. It's not $15, okay? It's like 115. Leave me alone.
115. If it makes you feel any better, last year I think I owed like $2,000 on my taxes at the end of the day.
Jeez. How did that work out?
It was the cryptocurrency stuff that I sold. I got hit with short-term capital gains. So, the government taxed me out the wazoo and was like, I'm going to need your money.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep. You hate to see it. This year, no crypto taxes for the calendar year. Didn't buy or did buy, but didn't sell anything. So no realized gains. So it should be good to go this year, hopefully.
Until a few months from now, they're like, yeah, so you owe us $6,000.
Yeah. And then we did a lot of work on that one rental property too. So there's a lot of write-offs for that. So we should be good to go for that as well with taxes.
True. Very true. So the last 2 weeks been fucking busy in this world. What's one key thing that stuck out?
China is weaponizing hot air balloons, Mary Poppins style, to spy on the American people.
I love it. Yeah, I love how at first they were like, yeah, it's just a weather balloon and it got off track somehow. I'm just like, what? Like no, the fuck it didn't. Like, who the fuck just flies weather balloons around? Like, what? That's what satellites are for.
Yeah, the weird thing to me is with the spy balloon is it's not really doing anything, as far as I know, unless it's got some high powered photography stuff on it, cameras, whatever you want to call it. As far as I know, it doesn't have any, extra capabilities that like low orbit satellites don't already have to take images of things. And China has low orbit satellites in play already. So I'm not sure if it's like an antagonizing thing where they're just like, let's do this and see how they respond, like testing response or anything like that. But I don't know, it seems weird to me. Seems like a weird move.
Well, I mean, it took us 7 days to shoot it down from the time it hit the U.S. So, I mean, if they're looking
Did they actually shoot it down?
Yeah, they did.
I thought they said they weren't going to shoot it down because they were worried about debris fallout and where pieces might land and stuff.
They shot it down over South Carolina with an F-22.
Are you sure?
1,000,000%. I saw the video with my own 2 eyes.
So did it come into the U.S. from the west, from Cali, or did it come in from the east, from New York? Because I remember at one point it was like over the Dakotas. So I had to go to the west, right? If it made it all the way to South Carolina. And if it made it all the way to South Carolina and it came from California, well, what the hell? It already, traversed the entire continental United States. What's the point of even shooting it down at that point?
even worse, even worse. It came from like near Japan, came across whatever fucking ocean that is. What's that? The Atlantic, Pacific, Pacific. Yeah, right. Pacific's near California.
I don't know. You want to put $5 on it?
No.
It's the Pacific.
Okay. Anyways, it came from like over Japan, went through Alaska, through like British Columbia, over Canada, came down through Montana. It came through Kansas, and then went over to like South Carolina. So it like gradually just made its whole way from west to east of the fucking United States.
So it basically hit everything except for
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Yeah. It hit like everything in the middle. It came down through like Montana, and then came down through the middle of the United States, and then just went across to South Carolina, and then that's where they shut it down.
That's pretty weird too. Like I said, at that point, like it's gone across all of the continental United States to include Alaska, and then you shoot it down. Like, did they think they were preventing the information being gathered, making it back to China? Because I feel like the technology, whatever technology they're using, it was probably transmitting anything it was picking up like real time back to China.
Oh yeah,
I think, and not just a bunch of terabytes of hard drives or.
Yeah, no, that's there. What. No, it had to have been real time. Like, they can't be that stupid to just send something up and just have it go to a hard drive and then be like, oh well, we'll get the weather balloon back in fucking 2 weeks, and then that's when we'll see all the shit. Like, no.
I wonder if
apparently I had a bunch of cameras
was going over Japan, or did Japan just like, oh, look at that balloon?
I don't know. I haven't heard like from what they were saying.
In the video, when it got shot down, do you get a good look at the balloon? How big is it? We talking like birthday balloon, and it's got like a Polaroid attached to the bottom of it, or are we talking like a big blimp like the Heisenberg?
Oh, we're talking like 3 school buses wide.
Really?
That's what they said. 3 school buses wide.
So it's more kind of commercial, like a blimp, like a helium blimp than a balloon.
Yeah, and then there was like airline pilots that came out and were like, "Yeah, we see it. It's at about like 50,000 feet. Fucking huge."
What does the average like commercial airplane fly at? I wonder if they were afraid of it running into any.
They usually fly above it. They usually fly above 50.
Do they really? That seems really high. I know nothing about flying, but it seems pretty high to me.
Maybe. Actually, I want to say they fly at 60,000 feet. Or really? 40. 60 or 40, I feel like. 50 is kind of like right in the middle, I feel like. But I guess it all depends. Like,
so according to USA Today, the common cruising altitude for most commercial airplanes is between 33,000 and 42,000 feet, or between about 6 and nearly 8 miles above sea level. So if it was at 50,000 feet, then I guess it's above them. So they just looking up in the sky, breaking their necks, looking up 8,000 feet.
I guess so. But I mean, dude, that just it's just really weird timing, because it's been posted all over what the United States Air Force General said, General Minahan, about going to war with China in 2025. And it's weird that like a week after he said that, now there's a China quote unquote weather balloon flying over the United States. So like, I don't know if they saw that what he said and they were like, oh, let's just fucking tease him, or
either something. That, or they saw the balloon before it even hit Japan and they're like, let's release a statement. Let's kind of low key start controlling the narrative here.
True. I honestly have not thought of. Well, he released that like 2 weeks ago, though.
Yeah, so that would have been like
So
back when it was like Japan, Alaska area.
yeah, I mean, I guess you're right.
Because how long? When did they get shut down above the Carolinas?
Yesterday.
Yeah, so I feel like last week, like Monday is when I first heard about it. So that was like a whole week from it to get to like coming down into the continental United States to the Carolinas. So like 2 weeks ago, it was probably over Japan or something.
Yeah, yeah, I assume so. Unless
Then
it
did they?
like, unless it just caught a fucking Gulf Stream and just was cruising.
Yeah. Well, did they say what? Like, what was it set up like a drone where somebody had a little remote control in China somewhere and in Wuhan, and they were putting around with the thing,
In the
or was it
Wuhan lab,
just
they're about to stop COVID 2.0.
they shot the thing down and it was the whole balloon was inflated with COVID 2.0. We're all going down. This is how it begins. This is the real zombie outbreak. Everyone that
no,
is
I don't
at
think.
least 6 booster shots deep is gonna die by Friday.
Well, they said that it was a weather balloon that got off track. So, I mean, I assume you could control it. Why there's like a satellite on the bottom of it. Like there's a bunch of like satellite things on it.
Hmm.
So they're like solar panels on it. So like I would assume so that you could control it. I mean, I can't imagine they just like there's like fuck it, we're just gonna put the shit in the air. It's gonna cruise at 50,000 feet, and we're just gonna let it go. I can't imagine they'd say that or do that.
Yeah, but then if you can't control it, how does it get off course?
Just trying to pull some sneaky shit, man.
Yeah,
Fucking China.
fair enough. Fair enough.
But so they shut it down yesterday, and they're apparently it dropped in not the Pacific, the Atlantic.
Yep, yep.
um, apparently they shot it like right over the Atlantic, like right outside of South Carolina, from what the article I read was. So they said they're going to try to recover the debris from it and try to like pull intelligence or whatever from it. So, I mean, hopefully within the next week or so, they'll release a little statement about it and maybe watch it actually just be a fucking weather balloon. And they're just like, wow. But I mean, at the end of the day, it flew over the U.S. for so long that even if it was a weather balloon, I mean, man, that just really makes America look kind of bad because the president was like, "No, we're not going to shoot that down." Like why? Like no, I'm pretty sure he said he came out and was like, "Yeah, we're going to shoot it down," and then like 2 hours later, he was like, "Yeah, we're not going to fucking shoot that shit down." And then they just let it fly some more, and then they're like, "Yeah, you know what? We should probably shoot it down."
I don't know.
So
Like I said, I feel like it doesn't really matter at the end of the day because everyone has satellites now, especially low orbit satellites that can photograph anything, listen in onto things. Like there's technology way more advanced than a weather balloon. So whatever that weather balloon was taking pictures of or whatever, unless it was truly just them trying to gauge the US's response to something like that, like whether intel gathering operation it was conducting, I feel like it's nothing that can already be done with, you know, low
yeah,
orbit
yeah,
satellites or, you know, just listening into back channels and seeing what's going on.
yeah. I mean, I just
And this is like not the first
the
time
whole
it's happened
story of
either.
it.
They've done it several times before, but I guess it was a slow
Did
news
did
week
they
or
always say it
something.
was a? Did they always say it was like a weather balloon, or was it like
Yeah, it's not, well, I don't know,
did it actually come out
quote
to be something
unquote
else?
weather balloon, but you know, there's been other balloons coming through in the past.
And did they ever shoot him down? Did they just let him be?
That I don't know if they ever shot him down or not, but I think it was Japan during World War II tried like using biological warfare with balloons in World War II. Like they were trying to like spread the bubonic plague to either the US or China during World War II. They're like, we'll fill these balloons.
I mean,
and they'll fly over and we'll get them.
And that's one of the things that like was the big reason on why they weren't going to shoot it down. They were like, well, what if we shoot it down and like there's stuff inside of it? What happens if, you know, the debris could hurt Americans, and like all like they had to think of all these different things of like what could fucking be inside that thing.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
I think that's why they shot it over
a major population center, because all that stuff falling out of the sky could go bad. So maybe that's why they chose, you know, the Atlantic Ocean or the Pacific. Yeah. Who knows? We may never know. We need Facebook fact checkers to keep us straight. We're gonna have to hire someone.
Just got somebody in the back like, no, motherfucker, that's the Atlantic.
It's the Atlantic. It's the Pacific. It's the Arctic Ocean. I don't know. Oh my God, these guys are idiots. How'd they ever make it through middle school geography? I don't know about you. When I was in middle school, we had to take these like weekly tests on geography and be like, all right, motherfuckers, today we're learning about Africa. And you'd learn about Africa for like a week. And then at the end of the week, you would just get a blank fucking map. And it would be like, all right, you better know every country in Africa and label every single one correct. And you're like, what the fuck? Why do I need to know this? And that just went on for like a month and a half. Every week it'd be like, all right, Asia, North America, South America, Europe, Africa. You're like, oh my God.
What the fuck? Actually, we were just talking about that shit at work the other day. What were we talking about? We were talking about something, and then we like kept on going, oh, we were talking about like Costa Rica, and everyone was trying to like say where Costa Rica is, and then we were trying to just name all the countries like around it, all the states or whatever the provinces they have. And I was like, dude, I don't know any of this shit. Like I learned it all in middle school and high school, but I don't fucking remember it.
What is one of the guys at work from Costa Rica or something? I mean, there's only two countries around Costa Rica. You got Nicaragua and Panama, so that's pretty easy. But all the provinces and everything?
No, we were just talking about just geography, like places like people have been and everything. So I don't fucking know. But then like our guy just kept on going on a rant about all these different places because he's like a history whiz.
Interesting. Sounds like a nerd.
Everybody at my job. Pointy heads. Call us the pointy heads.
Hate to see it. Well, what else happened this week? Did you see, not this week, the last 2 weeks, did you see all of a sudden what's Joe Biden's kid's name? Hunter Biden laptop story confirmed. No longer Russia disinformation. I don't know what he was on, but he was on some kind of interview thing, and he was just basically like, yeah, it's my laptop.
Wait, what? Yeah. I haven't heard anything like this.
Yeah. So the original, Hunter Biden story dropped late 2020 before the election, and a lot of people were saying, it's fake news.
Wait, what's the Hunter Biden story though? Like what does it pertain? Because I have never heard anything about it.
You never heard about the Hunter Biden laptop and like all the stuff on it?
No, not at all.
Okay. So there's this guy, I think it was in New York or Delaware, owns an electronics store, and he gets this laptop that he needs to repair or something, right? This is all very loose information here, right? So while looking over this laptop, he finds all these things like Hunter Biden arguing with a prostitute about how much he's going to pay her, video or pictures of him like passed out on a couch with a crack pipe in his mouth, him arguing with like a drug dealer on how much he's going to pay for the cocaine. This is Hunter Biden, not Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, the kid.
Yeah.
And then there's like correspondence on there between him and these people that work for this company called Burisma, which is like this energy company in Ukraine. And he sits on the board there and talking about like getting them FaceTime with his father, and, you know, who at the time before 2016, some of these correspondence are when he's still the vice president of America. So, you know, a very influential person. And basically all this information comes out, and the Washington Post gets a hold of it, and they end up posting the story. And, you know, starts making its rounds on like Twitter, Facebook, you know, all the social media sites, and it all starts getting taken down. It all starts getting taken down, saying it's disinformation. It's not real. It's like planted by the Russians. It's made to make Joe Biden look bad because we're coming up on the 2020 election in November. It's, you know, it's the Russian collusion thing all over again, like when Trump won in 2016 against Hillary. So the whole thing gets suppressed. You really don't hear a lot about it, and it's still getting suppressed a lot. But, you know, Hunter Biden goes on this interview and he just basically confirms, like, yeah, that's my laptop.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
Yep.
So he was just like talking shit, basically, and like just being a fucking horrible citizen.
Yeah. So here, I just pulled it up real quick. So Hunter Biden asks for criminal probe into how his laptop contents were released. So a lawyer for President Joe Biden's son, Hunter, asked the Justice Department in a letter Wednesday to investigate close allies of former President Donald Trump and others who accessed and disseminated personal data from a laptop that a computer repair store owner said was dropped off at his Delaware store in 2019. The request for criminal inquiry, which comes as Hunter Biden faces a tax evasion investigation by the Justice Department, does not mean federal prosecutors will open up a probe or take any action, but nonetheless represents a concerning shift in strategy and a rare public response by younger Biden and his legal team to years of attacks by Republican officials and right-wing media. So I guess the Washington Post is right-wing media in this case. It also represents that the latest salvo in the long-running laptop saga, which began in a New York Post story, New York Post, not Washington Post, in October 2020 that detailed some of the emails it says were found on the device related to Hunter Biden's foreign business dealings. It was swiftly seized by Trump as a campaign issue during the presidential election that year. So I guess basically not a interview that he did, but the work that his attorneys are doing. People are questioning, like, you know, if all this information is not factual and it was meant to sway the election in 2020 because of Russia disinformation and collusion, why are you then putting in a request to the Justice Department asking how your laptop and personal information was leaked? Like, if it's not yours, then it's not yours, and it's not your laptop, and it's not your personal information. But if you're saying, how did my laptop get out and all of its contents, isn't that basically kind of the same as admitting that this is not Russian ploy?
That's 100% admitting that that's your laptop and that you did all that fucking shit.
Yeah, I'm obviously no lawyer. I got a few of the details wrong there, you know, falling into that trap that we said the other week about people just reading headlines and stuff. but yeah, it's basically like, you know, a cop finds coke in your car and you're like, that's not my coke. I don't know how that coke got there. The Russians planted the coke there. And then after everything settles, like 2 years later, you put in a request with the police department, like, hey, yo, can I get my coke back that you took from me? Like, oh, so it is your coke.
Literally. I wonder how I haven't heard that story yet.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
Every day I'm scrolling through the news.
Yeah, that was a big thing in 2020 when it came to the election, and people were pretty upset about, because basically, you know, people, while they were their reasoning behind suppressing it was they're like, well, we need to make sure that this is factual and not disinformation. So they suppressed like any kind of sharing of it on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. But then they basically said, like, oh, the New York Post and is basically spreading disinformation, including with bad actors outside the United States to sway the election. And this narrative has continued for like 2 years. But then you got Hunter Biden and his legal team being like, all right, so who got a hold of my laptop and how and why did you leak all the information on it? So, so it is you. And it is stuff.
You little motherfucker.
Yup.
Try to pull a quick one.
It's shady.
Damn, that's really wild how I haven't. Like, I guess I really wasn't like back then, probably when it first came out. I wasn't really that big into the news. So, I mean, it's a little different.
Yeah, you should read up on it. Obviously, I should read up on it too because I missed a lot of the details. But that all just happened this.
You're fucking wrong.
This past week. Getting hired to spread disinformation, Russia disinformation, part of the collusion machine. But instead of paying me off, they could just offer me pallets and pallets of Dr. Pepper. I don't know about you. I know you like Dr. Pepper too. I don't know if you like it as much as me though. So blow up, get big, act like I don't know nobody, and then just have a pool in my backyard with Dr. Pepper for my payoff of influencing the elections.
I love Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is God's nectar.
It's a quality drink.
Very.
Pepsi, a little bit too sweet. Coke, it's kind of got like a burning thing to it. Dr. Pepper, it hits just right. Did you know where Dr. Pepper was originally founded?
Not the U.S., I assume.
No, it was the U.S. It was the U.S.
Was it?
Yep.
Damn, whoever made that shit, billionaire.
So Dr. Pepper was originally founded in Waco, Texas. # shout out to Waco, Dr. Pepper, putting you on the map before the Branch Davidians ever did in the 90s. Select few probably know that reference. But Dr. Pepper originally invented in Texas, Waco in 1885. It was invented before the hot dog and hamburger.
What?
Yeah. Fun fact about hot dogs and hamburgers. I believe it was 1904. The World Fair is where hot dogs and hamburgers made their debut.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yep. Just saying, Dr. Pepper. It's been around for a while. And it's got 23 flavors. I mean, what else in the world has 23 flavors? It's 23 flavors. If you don't like Dr. Pepper, something's wrong with you, not Dr. Pepper. You're telling me you can't find one thing out of 23 that you like? I mean, you're just being unreasonable.
You know what's really funny? Talking about the hot dogs and hamburgers. I saw a video the other day. It's this kid that always fucks with his dad. And he boiled hot dogs, and he took the hot dog water and put them in little ice cube trays and put it in the freezer. And the dad, like the next day, went to go get ice cubes, and he put the fucking hot dog water ice cubes in there. And he started drinking his water, and he threw up everywhere.
Ew.
He fucking was drinking hot dog water.
Dang. Ew, that's disgusting.
Oh, disgusting as hell. Like the worst thing you can possibly.
Some of the dudes that we play video games with are savages. Do you know they boil hot dogs and or put them in the microwave?
What?
Yes. Who boil your hot dog's all soggy? Who boils a hot dog and then a microwave? Well, my brother in Christ, we got EBT cards and Snap going on here. Like I'll Venmo you some money. Like you ain't got to struggle like that. Like you're microwaving hot dog. Wouldn't it just blow up in the microwave?
I assume so.
I don't know what they're doing out here, but they're like, which one's better? Boiling hot dogs or microwaving hot dogs? I'm like, neither. Put it on a grill like a normal person. What are you even talking about?
Literally, or like at least the oven. Like, why would you choose boiling a fucking hot dog to make that shit rubber so it fucking bounces off your table?
Yeah,
instead of the oven. At least the oven.
People at work sometimes at my previous job would they make brats, boiled brats in beer. It was gross. It's the same thing. Like just put it in a grill and put a can of beer in the grill, and get the infusion that way. But it was great. And they chose nasty beer too to do it with. They'd be like breaking out Natty Light or Bud Light and stuff.
Ew.
What is even going on right now?
What the fuck? What is wrong with
subsect of the population out there that just loves boiling meat for some reason. Meat is not meant to be boiled.
That's
I take that back. I'm a hypocrite. If you think about it, when you put stew or chili in a crock pot, that shit's getting boiled.
Yeah, it is. It is. It sure is. Better take that shit back quick.
Oh God, I feel like a politician right now. I've been caught in the lie and I'm just walking back on damage control. Stew and chili. So any kind of meat that is held together by a casing, let's put it that way, because that would encompass, brats and hot dogs, should not be boiled.
But that's a better.
We're talking like a roast, and even then it's not really boiled. It's kind of like slow cooking and marinating.
Yeah, it's a slow cook.
Like breaking down and getting real tender. But there's some times when I'm cooking chili and stew and I pop that lid off to do a little stir and the juices, the water, the broth, or whatever, it be bubbling. It's boiling. We boiling meat out here.
You do be boiling that meat. That's so bad.
A hypocrite. I'm a double hypocrite. I got caught in the sensational headlines on the Hunter Biden laptop story. And now I'm out here boiling my meat after I just accused, a subsect of the population of being Neanderthals for doing so.
Well, I mean, it doesn't change that they're still Neanderthals. So at least you got that going for you.
We're only on episode 3 and we're already about to be embroiled in our first controversy. Boiling meats.
By episode 4, everyone's going to be like, all right, fuck these guys.
These guys are worse than Andrew Tate. # free Andrew Tate. Lock these guys up in his place.
Actually, yeah, so I heard some stuff about that.
What'd you hear?
That they extended his detention in Romania. And apparently
his brother's still in jail with him, or brother released?
Both of them are still in jail.
Both of them are still in jail?
Yes. And actually, the brother of Andrew, which is Christian, he wrote a letter basically saying like how it's so unhumanitarian that they're in this prison and like they eat like once a day or something like that. And like at the bottom of the note,
talking about like cockroaches and stuff.
Yeah, and at the bottom of the note, it was like the world needs to know what's actually happening. So, man, I think it, like they've always said, I think it's the fucking Matrix just coming around and being like, yeah, we need to get you the fuck off this planet.
They're too woke, and the Matrix is trying to shut them down and take them out, so the people can't be woke and listen to them no more.
A part of me kind of thinks like the government is trying to stop them because they're them. So,
they're them. They got money though. Like the government was corrupt, they could just pay them off. Well, the Romanian government. I'm sure whoever's running that jail could easily be bought.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, they're still there.
Can they not post bond in Romania? Is that not a thing?
I assume not if they're not out by now.
Or maybe the bond's just ridiculously high.
Or
maybe it's like the US where if you're considered like a flight risk or your crime's too egregious, you don't get to post bail, you get no bond.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say, that I think maybe they're saying it's too... What they did was too bad, so they have to hold them for longer. But I honestly don't know.
Which is kind of a catch-22, like to deny somebody bail because the crime was too egregious is to basically admit that you already think they're guilty, and then you're throwing away innocent until proven guilty.
You're not wrong.
Because you're basically changing your treatment and perception of them based on the preconceived notion, like, yeah, these dudes are guilty. They're definitely going to jail. They're going down for this. Okay. If you think they're going to run away, they're a flight risk. I get it. But to state that the crimes are too egregious is to state before trial, yeah, these dudes did it.
Yeah, these motherfuckers that, they had to have done all the things they were accused of. There's no way they haven't.
Yeah. You hate to see it.
Yeah.
You said you're going to go to a movie later tonight. What movie are you going to go see?
I don't think I've decided yet. I wanted to see
the movie pass from Cinemark.
No, I do not. I don't. But
I have the movie pass. I haven't been to the movies in like 6 months, so I have like 12 movie tickets because the movie pass,
God damn,
per month gives you a ticket. And the price of the pass is the price of one ticket. So you don't save any money in that regards. If the tickets, the pass per month is $8 and you get a free ticket each time. But, regular ticket costs $8. I don't remember what it costs, but, for simplicity's sake, say it's $8. So you're not saving any money there. But what you do save money on is when you're at the concession stand, all concessions are half off.
What?
Yes.
What?
It's half off. I don't know about you, but every time I go to the movie,
bro, it's like $15 for like a small popcorn.
Yeah. The tickets are not the most expensive part. The tickets are semantic. If you go and you bring somebody with you, you bring your girl, your girlfriend, your wife, your significant other, your husband, your boyfriend, whatever you're into, I know you live a vicarious lifestyle. You're out there getting anything that breathes. But, you get 2 popcorns and 2 drinks, especially large popcorns and large drinks, because I'm a glutton and I'm just sitting there stuffing my face like a hippo.
That'd be $40.
Yeah, that's expensive.
Literally. No, I don't. No, I live a very straight life. I love my woman. I love my pussy. But I'm going.
It's 2023, all right? Even these days are walking around with Adam's apples. You got to watch out.
But no, I'm going with a few friends from work. We haven't decided because I want to go see Puss in Boots. Favorite character from Shrek. He's got his own fucking.
Have you
movie.
seen the first Puss in Boots? Because this is the sequel.
Yes, I have.
Okay. Now, would these people from work, are these guys from work or are these girls from work?
They are guys.
They're guys. Would you classify these guys as your friends? Any of them, even just one of them?
I mean, if we hang out outside of work, I feel like you're my friend. Yeah.
Okay, so you would say there's multiple of these individuals that are your friend.
What the fuck are you getting at?
It's a yes or no question. Multiple of these people in this group are your friend.
Yes.
So these guys who are your friends would be your boyfriends. See Puss in Boots, the movie, with a bunch of your boyfriends. Okay. I'm just saying. I'm not wrong. They are your boy friends. Just saying.
They're my guy friends. Boyfriend.
Controversy.
Friends.
Controversy number 3.
Guy friends. Better.
All things happen in threes. Controversy number 3. # Ray going to the movie with his boy friends.
I fucking hate you.
Anyways, continue as you were saying.
So, anyways, from your fucking stupid rant, I want to see Puss in Boots, but then I also saw the movie Plane is out. It's about like a convict or whatever. He gets on a plane. They're like taking him somewhere. And then the plane gets like horrible turbulence and they're like flying into a storm. and they have to like land in like some place because one of their engines went out, and they get on like this. I don't know if it's an island or what it is, but they land in basically the middle of nowhere, and the the convict starts killing everybody. So like
Why,
everyone's
why
just
did
so
you
like,
start killing everyone?
oh wait, no, it wasn't that. Never mind, because I only watched the trailer. But they land somewhere, and then there's like, it's like, have you heard of like the Amazon people that live like deep in the Amazon, and they're like they have their own culture and their own ways of living? It's like that, like where this group of men
On
like
the
come out with,
island that they land at?
yeah, it's like where these group of men
So
come
it's like
out
an
with like all these guns.
uncontacted tribe that they meet.
Yeah. And this group of men, fucking, the tribe comes out with their guns, like guns blazing, and the convict
They
helps,
have
like,
guns?
yeah, the bad guys, yeah.
Sounds like some kind of cartel thing or something going on. I don't think there's any uncontacted tribes on a random remote island that just on their own discovered
Well,
guns.
no, I don't think it was like an island. It didn't say or and it didn't show if it was an island or not.
Oh, so they could have just like landed somewhere in Central America or South America and just the
Yeah,
jungle or just a
it
random
was in like a
tribe.
forest. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Thought we were
I mean
talking about like the Sentinelese people in Southeast Asia come running out with guns randomly when no one's ever talked to them.
no, but that one also looked good too. I'm waiting for the new Mission Impossible to come out, but that doesn't come out. I think like July or some shit.
The one movie I've been thinking about going to see, but I haven't decided yet. I haven't watched too many previews on it, but it's like this doll robot thing that's alive. I don't know. It almost kind of seems like a Chucky kind of movie. It's called like Megan or something.
What the fuck? It's a horror
Have you
movie,
seen
I
the
assume.
previews? Yeah. Have you seen the previews for it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's like this sentient doll or robot thing. So I don't know. It gives me Chucky vibes, but I don't know if I want to go see it or not. Some of the movies that I do want to see, I just don't know if I want to see them in theaters. Like the Wakanda movie is like 2.5 hours long. The new Wakanda Forever or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the sequel to Avatar,
Oh
it's
my
like
God, that's
3
just like 3
hours and
hours.
5 minutes long.
Yeah, no, hell no.
Remember
Like,
back in the day as kids, we would go to the drive-in movies, and then like halfway through the movies, they would have intermission where you could like go to the bathroom and go get snacks
yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, they need that in movies like that. 3 hours of just sitting there.
Oh,
Like I
dog
gotta go
shit.
to the
Horrible.
bathroom. A gallon of Dr. Pepper from this big gulp I bought at the concession. Like I gotta pee. 3 hours.
Well, I know why you don't want to go see that movie. I listen. I can go to the store. No judgment. I can go to the store. I can buy you some diapers if you need some. If you're too scared to watch a little doll kill everybody,
Hey, look.
I
It
can
has
help you out.
nothing to do with fear. All right, the wife is the one who gets all uppity about scary movies and stuff. And then last time you were at my house, you weren't all about the scary movies either when we were picking out movies to watch.
Whoa. Listen. How much money you want to not talk about this?
Exposed to 4 listeners. You're done for, kid. You're never gonna recover. Three
No,
of
scary
those 4
movies-
listeners are people we play video games with. You're gonna hear about it the rest of your life.
Listen, scary movies aren't that bad, but some of them I'm like, holy fuck, like that's just creepy and that's fucking gruesome as fuck. Like
Right now,
like
my
the Exodus
favorite
movies
series-
or Insidious. The
Yes,
Insidious
that's what I
movies?
was gonna say.
Hell no. Hell no.
Insidious.
Hell no.
I like the movies that like blend together. So like the Annabelle series, Insidious, what's the other one? Annabelle, Insidious, The Conjuring, The Nun. I like how like it's like 4 different series, but they all have like the same background and tie together. Kind of like the
Yeah.
the MCU. and all the Marvel movies. I like that.
Yeah.
I fuck with it.
I did see the newest one to one of those series. I forgot which one. I forgot what the movie was called. I saw it in theater and I was fucking shitting my brains out. Like, shit was scary as all hell.
I think it was.
It was a really
Insidious,
good movie, though.
I think it was Insidious 2 we were watching when we were kids, and we were in the basement.
Oh,
and as we were watching it, the power or something went out right when like a jump scare happened. I remember Brady just getting up off the couch or the bed or something that was down there, running upstairs saying, "I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm done." And just running up the stairs.
Yeah.
Poor man was traumatized.
Yeah. Our brother, amazing, wonderful.
He's a real character, that guy. He's a real character. Hey, you know what? I tell you what. He's not fat anymore. There used to be a real thing.
No,
that guy.
no, he's not.
Really turned it around. He's really turned it around. He's no Arnold Schwarzenegger or nothing, but you know, the man used to have boobies.
You know what's really funny? I called him before this just to say hi. Like, I call him every once in a while, and he answered. And I was like, "Hey," I was like, "You want to do a podcast with us sometime?" And he was like, "No." And then I was just like, "Well, it's just me and another person. Like, we just talk about random shit, like whatever just comes to mind, whatever." And he was like, "Well, what do I get out of it?" And I was like, "Well, when we make it big, we'll be making lots of money off it." And he's like, "Oh, well, I'll wait until you guys make it big and then I'll join." I was like, "No." I was like,
he's using us. Using us.
I was like, "You can't fucking have us go through the trenches and then you just come out like a fucking bad man out of nowhere and fucking take everything." No, not how it works.
You just gotta sell it to him. Be like, you blaze up, you get crossed, drink some beer, toke it up a little bit, hit some munchies, ready to go. You just sit back, relax, and shoot the shit. You just you gotta sell it to him. You gotta sell it. You gotta market it.
I feel like he'd just say some dumb shit though.
He get baked out of his mind and just get all fucked up.
He'd be like, "Hey, yo, you see those fucking aliens the other night, man?"
That goddamn dog of his sitting on the couch next to him, just lapping, just licking every inch of the body. Oh, the snoring when we were playing games. I was like, what is that noise? Does anyone else hear this? Am I going crazy right now? Sounds like a car driving by with the hole in the muffler. What is going on?
This shit was hilarious. As soon as I heard it, I was like, "Brady, fucking move your dog away from the mic."
It's like he put that on the dog. You just hear this constant fucking snoring. I'm like, what is going on? And he doesn't yell at the dogs as much now, but when I do hear him yelling, are they down to just one pug? I only hear the one pug getting yelled at these days, not both of them.
They got a pug and a
pug, 2 pugs.
No, it's a beagle and a pug. It's a
puggle?
What's the name for it? Yeah, a puggle.
Or
they got a puggle and a pug.
A bagel? Beagle? And a pug?
A bagel?
It's a bagel.
Yeah.
A puggle? I feel like puggle makes sense,
sure
right?
It's called puggle.
Beagle?
I'm pretty sure it's called a puggle.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got the puggle and the pug.
Does he?
That thing's so fucking ugly, dude.
And they're 2 dudes
I remember
humping each other. No matter where you take them, they can act right in public. They're always assaulting each other. They need to sit to an office to talk about that.
I remember back in high school, I had my friend. He had a pug, and sometimes we'd go over to his house, like on the weekend or whatever. And we were playing basketball one time outside, and the pug was out there on the leash, fucking like watching us play basketball. And my friend was like, "Hey, watch this shit." And he spit on the ground, and the pug came out of nowhere, like flying around the corner and fucking started licking up the spit.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I was like, "What the fuck?" And then we're like mid-game playing, and I spit. So I had like phlegm in my mouth. Out of nowhere, again, this motherfucker comes running around the corner, like heard me spit and just started licking that shit up. I was like, "You fucking weird."
Did the dog have water? Was the dog okay? Was it being?
Yeah, there was water out there. Yeah.
Fuck. That's weird.
And I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with this pug and spit?"
Ugh. That's
I was so
pretty
confused.
gross. I had this dog growing up. By me, I mean my dad. It was an all white boxer. So if you didn't know,
Okay.
the same gene that causes a dog or a cat to be all white is also the same gene that causes them to be deaf. So usually most people don't realize it with cats because, I mean, let's face it, I could sit here and yell Snickers and, make little cat noises and stuff all day long. Cats never come. A cat don't give a fuck, right? Cat is basically like a tenant, like a roommate, it's not a pet. The cat lives.
True. You're not wrong.
So, but with dogs, people notice it pretty often. But yeah, the gene that makes a dog all white also makes it deaf. So we had this all white boxer named Zeke, and it was deaf. So because it was deaf, my dad literally had to send it to this trainer to teach the dog sign language. So like you would make certain gestures with your hand to like sit, stay, lay down, come here. But the problem was the dog was deaf, so the dog had to be looking at you in order to tell it what to do. And because it was deaf, you couldn't just yell its name to get it to look at you. So you'd have to find where the dog was, get in front of the dog. You know what I mean? And it's not like you could like come up with a hand gesture. Yeah, you could like come up with a hand gesture like, hey, look at me. Because the dog's got to look at you to see the hand gesture. So it's already looking at you. It was a pain in the ass.
That poor dog. That poor dog.
Yep. Pain in the butt. So yeah, I mean, it was a pretty well-trained dog, It listed all the hand signs and everything, well, but like you would come home and you'd have to go looking for the dog because the dog didn't know you were home. When it came time to feed, you had to find the dog because he didn't hear you filling up the food bowl. And it would make like really weird noises too sometimes. Like it would stand near the back door to go to the bathroom instead of like a normal crying like noise to go out. It'd just be like,
what the fuck?
You're like, what the fuck is that? What the dog do? Is it okay? And you'd like walk over there and he'd be like, hey, I gotta go out. And you're like, oh, okay, as long as everything's cool. All right, there you go.
If I heard that shit in the middle of the night, I'd be like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh, it's just Zeke. He's got to go pee. He drank a lot of water before bed.
Actually, I had my one friend, he had cats. He had this cat. And in the middle of the night, you would just hear like a loud, like, it sounded like the cat was dying every time I heard it. Like just a very loud, like weird meow. Now, dude, and the next day I was like, dude, what the fuck was up with your cat last night? Like, why the fuck does he make that noise? And he was like, oh no, that's him just humping the blanket. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what fucking cat makes that noise when they hump a fucking blanket? I was funny. Dying in laughter.
Did you hear a small animal dying last night? Oh, that was just my cat getting frisky in the spare bed pillow. We had this cat. My dad had this cat. It was the same time we had the deaf dog. His name was Toulouse because I liked the Aristocats movie growing up. So, like Toulouse, Fabio, those cats. It was this stray cat that they found. And this thing was like feral. Like it was not domesticated whatsoever. You'd come in the house, it'd like jump up on its back legs with its front paws in the air at you, barking like coming at you. Like this thing was crazy. But we kept it for some reason. I'm not sure why, but Toulouse, crazy cat.
Dude, animals be wildin' sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Dang, you never saw that cat we had for a little bit when I lived in Alaska, did you? Gumby with the messed up arms.
No, but that's funny. I'm pretty sure you sent me a picture of it the one time with it walking. Like you sent me a video of it walking, and I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with that cat?"
Yeah, so it'd walk on its back legs. So I guess it had this deformity where the front legs were curved, kind of like hockey sticks, and this lady was like gonna put the cat down. Just so the wife went and picked it up so it wouldn't get put down. but like the only way to fix the legs was with surgery, and the surgery was like thousands of dollars. So we were like looking for a new home for it and somebody that was willing to pay to get the legs fixed. But in the meantime, it couldn't walk on its front legs. So I sent you a picture of it, and it'd hop around like a kangaroo, its front hands like pinned to its chest, and it'd be hopping around and stuff. And it got around pretty good. It'd be running around. It jumped from the ground up to the couch, and it was a kitten, so it was small. I was surprised it was able to jump as much as it could and stuff. It was pretty crazy.
Oh my gosh, that shit would just like be scaring me. Like seeing that, like hobbling around and like I'm walking to the kitchen to get a glass of water in the middle of the night, and that thing's just hopping around. I'd be like, "Holy fuck, that fucking thing's possessed!"
Running at you on its back legs. Like that. I saw this video this past week, and it was this dog standing on its back legs, like trying to grab something off the counter. And the caption was like, "Dog gets caught, forgets how to dog." And somebody like walks in the kitchen and flips the light on. And it's like, "What are you doing?" And he just turns around still on his back legs and starts walking away without getting down and walking normal. He's like, "Oh, whoop, I got to get the fuck out of here." Too funny. When are you going to get a dog or a cat or something? I know your one roommate's got a dog, but always had dogs and cats growing up. You going to continue the trend, or are you good? No animals?
I mean, I want, like, I like cats. I like dogs a lot too, but I don't know, man. I feel like I don't even have time to for myself sometimes, and like working all the time, then working out, and like playing video games with the boys. I feel like I don't have enough time to give to the animal.
Yeah. Actually,
I feel like it's kind of like pointless for me. Yeah. And like be able to take him like a dog on walks every day. They were like take him to the dog park all the time if it was a dog. I mean, cats, fuck, you just get a cat. That fucking thing lays around. Doesn't do jack shit.
Yeah, they're like roommates. You could go on like a weekend trip and, you just put extra water and food out, make sure the litter box is clean when you leave. You come back, it just eats and drinks 3 days worth of food and water and poops in the box. Good to go.
Yeah.
There's, they're training cats these days to poop in toilets like people.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so you can get this insert. It's like a circle, like a donut, and you fill it with litter. And it's got these different sections that you can slowly remove. So the opening in the middle gets bigger and bigger. So the cat gets used to like sitting on the toilet seat and pooping through the tiny hole into on the litter and stuff. And then the hole slowly gets bigger and bigger. So the poop starts falling into the toilet and the pee starts falling into the toilet. And eventually you remove all the inserts and the cat's just like perched up like a falcon on the edge of the toilet seat, just pooping and peeing in the toilet. But then the catch side is like, then you just always got poo and pee in your toilet. And like that, I feel like that would smell bad unless like, a couple times a day you're going in there and checking to see if it needs to be flushed. Unless there's some way to train the cat to then flush the toilet.
Yeah, but that's weird because what if the cat has fucking horrible diarrhea? Just shits all over the fucking toilet seat. Just completely misses the fucking toilet.
I mean, to be fair, the cat would basically just be a feline version of me then, because I have, horrible diarrhea 24/7. I got a condition, it's not my fault.
Yeah, but you could fucking get it in the toilet. Like the cat, I don't trust a cat to fucking shit in the toilet. I trust you to shit in the toilet. Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking come over one weekend fucking see you shitting in the living room. But a cat, hell no. I would never trade a cat to fucking shit in the toilet.
I feel like you could then drill a hole, like a small hole, through the handle to flush the toilet, and like attach a string to it, and then get the cat to like pull the string after it poops and pees to flush it. So it's just like a self-service all in one. Feel like it could happen.
You may as well we're just gonna humanize animals now, huh?
It's just further domestication.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I know this one guy, his dog drools, or not drools, but like, it gets done drinking water and then it walks away and the water's like dripping from the mouth all over the place. So he's got this stand with a towel on it. So after he's trained the dog, after every time it drinks water, it puts its mouth down on the towel for like a second and then walks away. So that doesn't happen.
What the fuck? Actually, speaking about like, so it doesn't leak, do you see those water bowls? Like the new upcoming thing for dogs? It's like a water bowl, right? But the dog has to like push it down with its tongue to get water to come out. So their fucking whole snout isn't just in the water.
I wonder how effective that is though. Cause like when a dog drinks water, it uses its tongue like a backwards spoon. Like the tongue goes down and then curls backwards. So I saw that video, but it seems like there wouldn't be enough water for the dog to like lap up into its mouth.
He'll be sitting there licking that shit for a while.
Yeah. I feel like it's not effective, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not a veterinarian. I'm not an inventor. I don't know shit about fuck. So maybe it is a good invention, but when I was watching it, I was like, it seems counterproductive to like the mechanics of a dog's tongue.
True. You're not wrong. You know
who can train some dogs? You know who can teach some motherfuckers some things? Your dad. He used he used to have a dog that would go into the fridge and grab him a beer and bring it to him.
Yeah, because it was a golden retriever, dude. Golden retrievers are so smart.
I'm just saying that I feel like that could be any dog. But yeah, he had this dog. He had like a little towel rope pulley thing around the door. It'd open up the fridge, go in, grab him a fucking can and bring it to him.
Yeah, but he told me that story before too. But he told me the hardest thing to teach him was to close the fridge after grabbing the beer out of the fridge. Yeah,
that makes, especially this day and age too. Like back then, you know what I mean? Like stainless steel fridges weren't a thing. And if you did have them, like, you were, upper class. But nowadays everyone's got a stainless steel fridge. So I feel like the dog with the paws on the fridge would be scratching the shit out of that.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And plus with the new fridges nowadays, back then it was a handle. It was always a handle on something.
Yeah, mine doesn't have handles. It's got like
mine
groove that you put your hand in to open it up.
Yeah, so like you'd have to like stick something to it like that's strong enough to open the door with a towel attached to it.
Yeah, like a really strong magnet or something. But then have something in between the fridge and the magnet so that doesn't scratch it too.
True. But yeah, if I did have a dog, I would definitely teach him to go grab me Dr. Pepper from the fridge while I'm sitting here playing video games.
That'd be legit. And then you couldn't have him throw it away though, at least not in my house, because the garbage can is like on that thing that pulls out of the cupboards. You know what I mean? So you couldn't throw it away for you. It'd be like a full.
Well, I have a garbage can. I have a garbage can right next to my desk, so it's just a little reach away to toss it in there.
Dang. Well,
that'd be pretty nice.
Animals. It's cray. I saw this video. The cat Snickers, she's not a real people person, right? Like she only really hangs out with Samantha. I saw this video. This dude would hold a tree out in front of him, and this cat would like jump up in the air like a good 4 feet and grab onto his hand, but still somehow not scratch him. Like he was grabbing onto like monkey bars to grab the treat and then let go and fall down.
Really?
Yeah. My aunt growing up had this cat. If you ever had a treat, you would look at him. His name was Scotch, and you would say, "Pray." And he'd like get up on his back legs and he'd take his front paws and smack him together and pull him down like he was praying until you gave him the treat. I was like, how did you teach him this?
Oh my God. What the fuck? Imagine like getting a parrot, like having one of those birds that talks back to you.
My dad had a bird when I was growing up. Mom, when she was married to him, hated that fucking parrot. It'd like come down out of the stand, walk in and start fucking pecking people and yelling at people. He works early in the morning, and the parrot would like get used to his work schedule. So even when his alarm didn't go off in like 3 a.m, the parrot in the living room would just start screaming, "Wake up, Todd! Todd, wake up, wake up, wake up, Todd, 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 Todd." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up." Come running down out of the tree stand and it'd be like, "Get away from Todd, you fucking pecker." It was crazy.
That's fucking dude. I could never have a fucking parrot. That shit would piss me off.
It was I don't know if it was a parrot. It was a big bird too. This thing was like 2.5 feet tall. So I don't know
What
if
the
there's
fuck?
like
What is that? A fucking goose?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if there's different kinds of parrots. You know, goddamn toucan parrot. I don't know what it was, but this fucking thing was big. You know, I was like 6 at the time too. So like the parrot was like, you know,
The size of you?
yeah, it was like, you know, 2/3 the size of me, just running around pecking people, screaming Todd.
Wait, me saying the word goose. So I have this guy I work with, right? And like, have you ever heard a goose like when they get pissed off, they like hiss at you?
Yep.
Well, here I'll start with my story. So in honor guard, we had like a funeral the one time, and there was like a bunch of geese there, and like we could hear them like honking in the background, and we are like, it's about to start, and we're sitting there like making noises. We're like, ha 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 ha, like just making noises at it. And we go to start, and it starts walking fucking towards us, and like both of us are sitting there in our minds, and we like look at each other, and we're like make our eyes really big, and we're like, this thing's gonna fucking attack us, and like we can't fucking move. and and we start doing whatever we're doing, and the fucking thing gets closer, like to the family and us. And the things just start fucking hissing, like louder than hell. And we were so fucking scared it was gonna come, like, just kick the shit out of us. I fucking hate geese. But I have this fucking friend I work with, and there's like a store near us. It's like all unopened, like Amazon packages that like people bought, but like they got returned or whatever it was. And it's like a bin store, I think it's called. And so like every Friday at like 7 a.m. they open. There's always like a line outside. So he's like, yeah, I got there early the one week and I found this Orbeez blaster. And I was like, damn, what the fuck are you gonna do with the Orbeez blaster? Like what the fuck do you use that shit for? Like that's like a kid toy. And he was like, oh, I have these dude. He was like, dude, at my apartment, I have these fucking geese that are always like pissing me off and shit, and always hissing at everybody as you walk by. So he lives on the second story, and he, like 2 days later, he sends me a video. He picks up the Orbeez blaster. He's got like 2 bottles of liquor right next to the Orbeez blaster. It's like, I think it was like 3 or 4 p.m. And he picks up the Orbeez blaster, opens the fucking sliding glass door, aims the fucking Orbeez blaster at the fucking geese, and he just starts drilling the geese, and all of them are just hissing so loud.
Dang, that's fucked up. If I was the goose, I would have beat his ass.
That shit was so like, it is fucked up, but that's fucking hilarious.
Dang.
I've
At
gotta
least
see
though,
the video.
Orbeez like don't cause damage like an airsoft gun or a pellet gun or
Yeah,
something.
like,
Still, if I was that geese, I'd be like, I'm gonna find this dude's car and I'm gonna fucking shit all over this dude's car.
Well, no, like apparently he was telling us when he first like moved there, he like pulled in, and, like was unloading shit out of his car to bring into his apartment, and they like attacked him. Like like 3 of them just like started attacking him.
Geese are
Like
mean.
we're
They'll fuck
flying
you up.
around him. Yeah, they will, dude. They got fucking teeth, don't they?
Yeah, they have like a serrated beak that like goes backwards too. So like when they grab you, like it like fucking locks on.
I fucking hate geese. Just the noise they make when they like hiss at you, I'm like, it's. I just laugh. I'm not even like scared. I'm just like, what the fuck is this thing doing?
You hate to see it. Fucking Geese.
Love to see it.
Geese. Man,
Geese are superior.
dang. I can't remember what I was talking about. I had a story in the back of my head, and now I can't remember it. I'm drawing a fucking blank here. What the hell was it?
Oh God.
I can't remember.
Must be a shitty story if you can't remember it.
I can't remember it now. What? You said something about geese, and it triggered. It unlocked a core memory, and now I can't remember it.
Maybe at the lake.
At the lake. At the lake. Oh, yep. No, it wasn't the lake, but the outdoors. The outdoors triggered it. Thank you. So, Kyle, not on your dad's side of the family. Canada, Kyle. We were in British.
Oh yeah.
We were in British Columbia this one time, and we're in this state park, or I guess it'd be a provisional park because they have provinces up there, not states. And we're camping, and there's like a herd of elk moving through, and you're not supposed to interact with the wildlife. You're not supposed to call them, feed them, do anything, right? Well, in my infinite teenage wisdom, right, I break out the elk call, and I just start going ham on it.
You fucking idiot.
Next thing I know, there is not a handful, not a dozen, but hundreds of elk just surrounding our tent, just in the middle of the rut, screaming, and all these people.
What the fuck?
And all these people start showing up and looking at us and stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna call the cops or like the wildlife officers on us because I have all these elk just coming around the tent. And I was like, fuck it, and I just kept calling them. They kept getting closer and closer, just surrounded by elk in British Columbia. Oh fuck.
Gotta love it.
That was a good trip. Good trip going from West Coast to East Coast. That was a good time. West Coast to East Coast, the last like 18 hours driving non-stop to get home for this party that was happening back home. And I was like, hey, if you don't mind, just drive through the night. Got invited to this party. Let's get to this party. Just to get to this party and to end up getting arrested at the party because it was underage drinking and stuff going on. I was just like, damn, you hate. Should have just stayed in Canada. Played myself.
Actually, do you remember that one time we went portaging in Canada?
Yep.
And there were like those people in front of us, and we're getting to where we get off and carry all of our stuff. And that one person's dog, they were like, oh, that dog's on a rock over there. And then we get closer to it and we're like, holy shit, that dog's on a dead fucking moose in the water.
I remember paddling over to it. I think I was in the canoe with either Ree or Dennis. I remember I was like about to step out and I just realized that's a dead moose. My leg probably would have went through the carcass. I also remember a certain innocent Ray in the day going,
oh God,
I had a bad dream. I had a dream about a serial killer.
Oh my God, that was not then, was it?
It was then. And then this man sitting in the middle of the canoe in Canada proceeds to tell a story about how a giant sentient Cheerio tried to kill him. And you thought that serial killer meant actual deadly cereal that killed people.
I was like 6.
Yep. Yeah. However old you weren't old enough to help. You were just sitting in the middle of a canoe, munching on fucking snacks, talking about Cheerios trying to kill you in your sleep while I'm doing all this paddling.
Actually, oh my God, I think the best time from that trip, it was you, Dennis, and me. We were all in the canoe. And remember, we were like, there was a beaver dam, and like everyone was like getting out of their canoes and like picking it up and putting it on the other side of the dam and hopping in. And then you and Dennis, I'm pretty sure, looked at each other and you guys were just like, should we just go over it? Like paddle really fast and just go over it. And then you both decided we were gonna fucking do it for some reason. And we did it. And it was like, to me, sitting in the middle, it was like the dopest fucking most intense shit we've ever done.
You were
Like as a kid.
6-year-old. You was just like, we are paddling off the edge of the earth. We are sending it off of Niagara Falls right now. This has surely
like,
never been done in the history of man.
It was like a foot drop.
You're like, we
That shit was
are
hilarious.
hardcore. I dare that Cheerio to come after me now. I am a man. I have been reborn.
Yeah,
Too funny.
This was so fun.
Well, we're closing in on like an hour and a half here. I know you got to get ready for your date with all your boy friends to go see a movie. So, say we wrap it up.
Like I said, guy friends. Guy friends.
Yeah, semantics. They're your friends. They're your boys. Your boyfriends. It's 2023. Honestly, it's kind of, it's kind of bad if you're not open to the fact of having boyfriends, if you think about it, really. Just saying.
I disagree completely.
I'm just saying. All right. This has been episode 3 of Pondering Pennies with Dempsy and Rae.